Hey everybody, I'm Ryan.
I'm Nick Ganser.
How's it going, guys? My name is Kaine Simmons, and welcome back to our channel.
Starting a new shot can be difficult, especially when you're first kind of thinking out rough ideas of what you want to do for your shot.
There is a lot of pressure to try and make your shot look really good and like very spicy, so to say.
Especially if you're working on it in class for weeks, putting it on your reel, or even showing it to other people in an actual show.
So today, in this video, we actually compiled a few tips and techniques that will possibly help you in your ideation process for your next shot.
Before we begin, if you haven't already, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. We're also on all social media platforms. Our links will be in the description below for all of those.
Additionally, if you have any of your own ways of coming up with these ideas for your shots, drop it in the comments below.
We're still students and we're still trying to learn, and we'd love to hear from you and grow as an entire community. Now, on to the video.
So what is a good shot idea? A better way to think about that question is, what's a bad shot idea? And really the biggest thing that says that an idea is bad is there's a lot of cliche in it.
What tends to be cliche is usually when action, character, or even just the shot in general is very undefined, it's very uninspired, almost has like a default kind of feeling, usually as a result of lack of characterization for the scene itself.
If you think of, surprised, character walks in and gets surprised, he'll go. Some people may do that, but we've seen that over and over in the movies. As soon as somebody sees that, they'll probably think of Home Alone and they'll be taking out your shot. So defining your characters is really one of the most important things when you're talking about coming up with a good idea.
Instead of thinking on what you want your character to do, what helps a lot is think about your character. Think about who your character is, how they're feeling, how they're going to act, what they're doing. I mean, if I were to pick up a water bottle, it will be different from you picking up a water bottle. If, say, the character is upset about something, maybe they grab it from the bottom and really quickly rip it away. Or maybe the character's trying to keep composed or not trying to explode. Maybe they'll just pick it up from the top and just slowly lift it off.
If a character is actually well defined, their actions will never be cliche because their actions will be tailored to that person and that personality of whatever you are animating. Think beyond the shot. Instead of just doing simple action, be like, why are they doing this action? What's their mood? What are they thinking while doing the action? What happened before? What's going to happen after?
But just thinking of your character's personality is not going to be enough to avoid all cliche. Really, your first idea will probably always have some cliche in it. So the next thing we're going to talk about is brainstorming and how to build out from your original idea, build upon it, get rid of the cliche before you pick your final one.
Now that I have an idea on who the character is and how they're feeling at that particular moment in the scene, I would just start drawing all different ways how the character is going to act.
Brainstorming is all about trying to come up with as many ideas as possible that you can think of. No filters really here, literally just write down everything, and later on we will eliminate options from there.
Let's say your character has to enter a room. How are they entering that room? What are they thinking of when doing that? What's going on in the room? Is your character holding something as they go in the room? Are they going to be the center of attention when they come into that room? Why does it have to be in the setting? All of that is important when coming up with the idea. If your character is entering a quiet classroom, that's going to be a lot different than if they're going in a room where a rock concert is going on.
Simply just taking the same scenario, like sit down type of thing, and changing the scene, changing the setting. Maybe they're sitting down on an office, or maybe they're sitting down on the first day of class. There's going to be a different attitude with that, and with that, it'll be less cliche. It could also be important to kind of think about who the character is and what possibly they are like. Maybe the character is super muscular, or kind of creepy, or just has a rough day and has been trying hard to kind of keep it in. You have to think about how that influence just the basic idea of like a sit down, a walk-in, or something like that.
Also for brainstorming would help is just going out and observing people. So there's all these different ways that you may not be able to think of yourself, but going to observe other people and see how they act and do certain things can also help you get better ideas. And the best part is they're not even acknowledging that's what they're doing, because that's just what they do all the time.
Especially with body mechanic shots, going out and watching how others move could help you come up with an interesting quirk or weight shifts or even attitude with the movements that you're observing. Also super important just to watch a bunch of stuff. I know for me, when I was in advanced body mechanics, I was watching a lot of action films like Pacific Rim and stuff like that. And those inspired me to kind of come up with a theme of using like a mech or just like an action shot with like weapons, and like the energy was a little bit higher. From there, you probably have a super long list, and it's a matter of eliminating based on time, complexity, or even just appeal. Here, it could help to also reach out to your mentors, your peers for feedback.
You can put, maybe your top 2 or 3 together, send it to some friends, show family, maybe your mentor or teacher, and just get their reactions. See what they think of it, see if the idea is clear, and we'll go from there.
What I do is I have friends on Snapchat. I would save all my files to my phone, send it out to them and say, okay, choose which one's best for you. And they're not even in animation. I just want to get like a more outside source to look at it, give me their opinion, what seems interesting to them. In my mind, that's kind of like already asking the audience. Because when the audience goes to look at your shot, they're not looking at the animation part. They're just looking at the performance and what's interesting to them on the screen.
Ultimately, it will be your decision on what shot you do. It always should be, unless you're working on a film. Just make sure with other people that your idea is clear before you get started on it. So you've got your idea down, you're ready to shoot some reference, and you're ready to get started planning out that specific shot, getting everything planned out. So reference is a great opportunity to explore and push that shot further. It's the quickest way, it's the cheapest way, it's the easiest way to know what's going to work and what's not going to work in your shot.
Even after you've gotten your core idea down for your shot, filming your own reference can help you get into your character's head more and kind of give you the sense of those small, super valuable details that'll help you take your shot to the next level.
So here are a couple things that you need to look for when doing good reference. Think about what the purpose of your reference is. If you're doing a body mechanic shot, it's going to be really important to look at the line of action, weight shifts, contacts, how the body moves in the situation that you're looking at it in. Or if you're doing an acting shot, you're looking more for secondary action, how the character's thought process shows through their body language and facial expressions. Interacting with the props, or just seeing how that character interacts in that environment.
The best part about filming it, especially if you film it with yourself, is you can also not just act it out, but you can feel how the character is moving, how the character is twisting and turning. If I go pick it up, I can feel my shoulder come up, and you can kind of get just a better idea on how that is going to play out in your animation.
It's also super important to think about what you would do in your character's position with the scenario that you're thinking about. If it's natural for you to make those reactions, then it will be a believable and more realistic performance, and that's an awesome thing for animation. Here are some technical tips.
Really just look at what you're recording in your background. You don't want to blend in with the background because it'll make it really hard to see the essentials like your shoulders, your hips, your torso. You want to be able to see every part of your body and how it's working. You also want to make sure your background isn't super distracting. If you have a bunch of stuff going on in the background, it may make it even harder for you to focus. Also, recording multiple angles helps a lot too. I would have like a front and a side shot. If you record at the same time, it works really well. You can see, okay, so I'm walking, but this angle, you don't really see my chest rotating. But on the side angle, you might see my chest like this. But from this angle, you can't really see as much.
It's also important to tuck your shirt into your pants. It may look funny, if you're wearing gym shorts and a t-shirt, but what's more important in that is to see your hip line. Your reference is only for you. Yeah, you may upload it to school or something like that, but everybody's gonna look goofy like that. And what's more important is seeing how your hips move in your shot. Remember that your shot isn't final yet. You still have time to play around, you still have time to find new ideas and really explore that idea to the fullest.
And that's the video for today. Hopefully you learned a thing or two about coming up with cool ideas, more unique ideas, less cliche ideas.
If you have any other tips on brainstorming or shooting video reference, Drop it in the comments. The more we learn from each other, the better we'll all be as animators.
So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Happy animating.